On this day, 84 years ago, December 9th, 1941, Squadron leader Arthur Stewart King Scarfe of the Royal Air Force was flying a lone Bristol Blenheim bomber on a daylight attack against Japanese forces at Singora in Thailand. He was a flight commander with No. 62 Squadron, based at RAF Butterworth in Malaya, ordered to take part in a formation strike by all available squadron aircraft against the advanced operational base at Singora that was supporting Japanese landings. Scarfe had just lifted off in his Blenheim when Japanese aircraft swept in and carried out a combined dive-bombing and low-level machine gun attack on Butterworth, destroying or disabling every other bomber on the ground. Circling the airfield, he saw the devastation and knew the planned formation raid no longer existed, yet he chose to continue alone toward the heavily defended target. Flying at low level across hostile territory, he pressed on to Singora, fully aware that his single aircraft could not inflict decisive material damage, but that his attack would carry critical morale value for his grounded squadron. Over the target, he began his bombing run in daylight and immediately drew heavy anti-aircraft fire and repeated attacks by Japanese fighters. He held the Blenheim steady through the flak and fighter passes long enough to complete an accurate bombing attack on the airfield and installations at Singora. As he turned away from the target and headed back toward Malaya, enemy fighters continued to harass the Blenheim, raking it with gunfire in a running fight that lasted until he reached the border. During these attacks, Scarfe was mortally wounded in the course of his evasive maneuvers, but he stayed at the controls and fought to keep the damaged aircraft in the air. Despite his injuries and the failing condition of the Blenheim, he managed to reach Alor Star area and carried out a forced landing, bringing the aircraft down in such a way that his crew escaped without injury. He was taken immediately to hospital at Alor Star, where doctors attempted to save him, but he died shortly after admission from his wounds. For most conspicuous bravery and devotion to duty in continuing alone to the target, pressing home his bombing attack under severe opposition, and then bringing his crew safely back despite mortal wounds, Squadron leader Arthur Stewart King Scarfe was awarded the Victoria Cross. The award was announced in the London Gazette on 21 June 1946, and that same year, at Buckingham Palace, King George VI presented the Victoria Cross to his widow, Elizabeth Scarfe. He was 28 years old. He was buried at Taiping War Cemetery in Malaya, now Malaysia, where his grave is maintained by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission.